Few albums in modern rock history have left as lasting an impression as Green Day's American Idiot. Released in 2004, this punk rock opera wasn't just another album, it was a cultural phenomenon. At a time when America was grappling with political unrest, social division, and the disillusionment of a post-9/11 America, American Idiot became an anthem for a whole generation. Its bold themes, raw energy, and theatrical storytelling cemented its place as one of Green Day's most ambitious and defining works. But beyond its political undertones and massive commercial success, what truly makes American Idiot special is its music. Every track tells a story, bringing to life the journey of its central character, Jesus of Suburbia, and the chaotic world in which he inhabits. From high-energy punk anthems to introspective ballads, each song contributes to the album's larger narrative while standing strong on its own. That is why in this video I will be delving deep into what makes each individual song on American Idiot so great, exploring the emotion, lyricism, and musicianship that continues to resonate with fans 2.5 decades later. When people think of Green Day, chances are the first song that comes to their mind is American Idiot. Not only is it the title track of their most famous album to date, but it has also become the defining anthem of 2000s punk rock. From the moment that unmistakable opening riff kicks in, the song launches into an explosive, politically charged statement that hasn't lost an ounce of its impact since its 2004 release. While some songs tied to a specific political era can feel outdated as time passes, American Idiot has aged with a striking level of relevance. Its lyrics, fueled by frustration towards media-fueled paranoia and blind nationalism, still resonates in modern-day America, making it as meaningful now as it was 2 decades ago. Then there's their music video, which is, in my opinion, the embodiment of what people think of when they picture 2000s punk. The aesthetic is chaotic yet stylish, Green Day performing in a stark, neon-lit warehouse, while the American flag behind them melts into a neon green sludge. Everything from their eyeliner-heavy looks to the frantic camera cuts screams mid-2000s rebellion. Despite being their most well-known track, American Idiot never feels overplayed or outdated. It, to this day, remains one of Green Day's most powerful songs, not just because of its message, but because of its raw, undeniable energy. It was the perfect way to open American Idiot, the album, setting the stage for the ambitious rock opera that would follow. But even outside of the album's narrative, it stands as an all-time punk rock classic, one that even decades later still hits just as hard as it did when it first dropped. If American Idiot is Green Day's defining album, then Jesus of Suburbia is its beating heart. At over 9 minutes long, this 5-part suite isn't just a song, it is a full-blown punk rock odyssey that tells the story of the album's protagonist, the disillusioned and angst-ridden Jesus of Suburbia. Through shifting tempos, melodies and moods, Green Day crafts a song that feels just like growing up in a dead-end town, suffocated by suburban monotony and desperate for something more. From the anthemic opening to the sneering frustration, the song perfectly captures teenage rebellion, self-destruction, and the relentless and restless desire to escape. What makes Jesus of Suburbia truly incredible is how seamlessly it transitions through its different sections, each carrying its own emotional weight. The first half pulses with defiant energy, channeling pure punk rock attitude, while the latter half slows down to something more introspective and emotionally raw. The climactic, dearly beloved section strips things down before launching into something explosive and chaotic. The Tales of Another Broken Home part of the song, where frustration boils over into reckless abandon, it is this constant evolution that makes the song feel massive yet deeply personal, like a life unraveling in real time. Few punk songs, even today, dare to be this ambitious, and even fewer execute it as flawlessly as Green Day does here. Holiday is easily one of the most politically charged songs on American Idiot, arguably even more so than the title track. While American Idiot broadly expresses frustration with mass media and blind patriotism, Holiday takes a direct shot at American conservatism and war-era politics. Its lyrics, filled with sarcasm and biting criticism, paint a picture of reckless leadership and misguided nationalism. Lines like "Sieg Heil to the President Gasman" make its stance unmistakably clear, calling out those in power with unfiltered intensity. Yet despite its overly political message, Holiday remains one of those classic Green Day songs you can't help but enjoy. Its infectious energy, pounding drum beat, and fist-pumping chorus makes it an anthem that transcends politics. Whether you agree with its message or not, the song's rebellious spirit and raw power make it impossible to ignore. It's a track that feels as electrifying today as it did when it was first released. Proof that Green Day knew exactly how to blend activism with pure, unfiltered rock and roll. If Jesus of Suburbia is the beating heart of American Idiot, then Blvd of Broken Dreams is its soul. As one of the most recognizable tracks from the album, it stands alongside Jesus of Suburbia as a defining piece of Green Day's ambitious rock opera. Marked by its melancholic tone and hauntingly simple guitar riff, the song perfectly captures the loneliness and isolation that define the album's protagonist after he leaves his suburban life behind. The contrast between the song's stadium-sized sound and its deeply personal, introspective lyrics creates something that is both grand and intimately relatable, a rare balance that has helped remain one of Green Day's most beloved tracks to this day. Despite its somber and bleak lyrics, I Walk a Lonely Road, the only one that I have ever known, the song never feels overtly depressing or weighed down by its own sadness. Instead, there is an undeniable beauty in its melancholy, making it one of the songs that feels just as powerful whether you're blasting it in a car or reflecting on it in your own personal time. The steady, almost hypnotic drum beat and sweeping production gives it an anthemic quality, turning its loneliness into something strangely uplifting. It's the kind of song that resonates with anyone who has ever felt lost, making it as timeless a track as any on American Idiot. Are We the Waiting may not be the most exciting track on American Idiot, but it serves as a crucial role in setting the stage for what comes next. Its slow-building, almost dreamlike anthem that trades Greenlike's usual punk energy for something more atmospheric and theatrical. The way Billie Joe Armstrong sings the chorus, we are the waiting, makes it one of the most chant-worthy moments on the album, even if it lacks the intensity of other tracks. The song feels like a moment of reflection, a pause in the narrative where the protagonist questions his purpose before the chaos of St. Jimmy takes over. While it may not be as immediately exciting as what is to follow, its sing-along quality and soaring melody makes it just as enjoyable and necessary as other songs that have come before it. And then, like a slap in the face, St. Jimmy kicks in, fast, aggressive, and bursting with pure punk rock energy. From the very first note, it explodes with the reckless abandon, introducing the wild and destructive alter ego of Jesus of Suburbia. The frantic drumming, rapid-fire lyrics, and heavy guitar riffs makes it impossible to sit still while listening to it. It's the kind of song that demands movement, whether it's headbanging, air drumming, or just screaming along to every word. For me, St. Jimmy instantly became my favorite track the first time I heard it, and even now I consider it to be the best song in American Idiot. It embodies everything great about Green Day, raw energy, punk attitude, and a sound that makes you want to play it on repeat. The transition from Are We the Waiting to St. Jimmy is one of the best moments on the entire album, taking you from introspection straight into pure, chaotic rebellion. Give Me Novacaine is arguably the most depressing song on American Idiot, a desperate plea for relief from the overwhelming stress of life. Its lyrics paint a picture of someone numbing themselves, both physically and emotionally, just to get through the day, with lines like "take away the sensation inside, bittersweet migraine in my head," making it clear that this isn't about feeling better, just about feeling nothing at all. Musically, the song starts off with a gentle, almost soothing acoustic melody, creating a false sense of calm before the inevitable swell into heavier guitars. The shift mirrors the way the emotional pain builds up before it spills over, giving the track a unique ebb and flow that makes it stand out from the rest of the album. That said, while Give Me Novacaine is a powerful song in its own right, it doesn't quite reach the heights of either St. Jimmy before it or She's a Rebel after it. St. Jimmy is a pure unrelenting punk energetic song, while She's a Rebel brings back the fast-paced rebellious spirit of the album's protagonist. Compared to these two, Give Me Novacaine feels more like a temporary pause, a moment of exhaustion before diving back into the punk heavy chaos. It's still an important part of the album's narrative, reflecting on the internal struggles of Jesus of Suburbia, but as a standalone track, it doesn't quite hit as hard. Still, its raw emotion and unique sound makes it a memorable, if not entirely essential, piece of American Idiot's larger story. She's a Rebel is the closest Green Day gets to a love song in American Idiot, but calling it a true love song wouldn't be quite right. Instead, it's more about infatuation and admiration for someone who embodies rebellion, freedom, and a fearless attitude. With lyrics like "She's a rebel, she's a saint, she's the salt of the earth, and she's dangerous," the song paints the image of a bold, uncompromising figure who captivates the protagonist. However, there's no deep romance or emotional connection here, just raw admiration for someone who represents everything the protagonist wishes he could be. It's less about love and more about the obsession with the idea of revolution and defiance, making it a perfect fit within the album's overarching themes. What really makes She's a Rebel stand out is its energy and replayability. It's short, fast, and instantly catchy, with a driving beat and a vocal delivery that makes it impossible not to sing along to. Billie Joe Armstrong delivers each line with a punchy urgency, making the song feel as rebellious as the character it describes. Unlike some of the heavier, more emotionally weighty tracks on the album, She's a Rebel is just pure, fun, high-energy punk rock. It may not be the deepest or more intricate song on American Idiot, but it is one of the most replayable, and that alone makes it a standout moment in the album's progression. Extraordinary Girl serves as an anthem, for lack of a better word, for a relationship that's falling apart, but in a strangely beautiful way. Unlike some of American Idiot's more aggressive or melancholic tracks, this song carries a reflective, almost wistful tone. The lyrics describe a woman who seems destined for something greater, yet remains trapped in a situation where neither person is truly happy. She's all alone again, wiping the tears from her eyes, paints a picture of quiet suffering. While some days he feels like dying, she gets so sick of crying, makes it clear that both parties are just emotionally drained. It's not a dramatic, fiery breakup, it's the slow realization that things just aren't working out, no matter how much either person wants them to. What makes Extraordinary Girl stand out is how deceptively enjoyable it is, despite its reflective nature. The song's melody, with its rhythmic, almost hypnotic drum pattern and bright guitar work, gives it an upbeat feel that contrasts with its sadder subject matter. It's not weighed down by its themes, but instead feels strangely freeing, as if both characters are coming to terms with their fate. That balance between introspection and catchy, easygoing instrumentation makes it one of the more unique songs on American Idiot, and while it may not be the album's most iconic or beloved track, it's certainly one of its most interesting and often overlooked. Letterbomb is often said to be a reflection on the state of the United States, particularly the stagnation and frustration found in small towns. But that doesn't mean you need to relate to it to enjoy it, where at its core the song is about disillusionment, anger, and the realization that everything you once believed in might not be as meaningful as you thought. Lines like "Where have all the riots gone?" and "It's not over until you're underground" capture a sense of urgency and frustration, making it one of the more rebellious tracks on American Idiot. But even if you don't connect with the message directly, Letterbomb is still an incredibly fun, high-energy song that pulls you in with its raw power and attitude. Musically, Letterbomb is a burst of punk energy that never lets up, driven by relentless drumming and sharp guitar riffs. Billie Joe Armstrong's vocals have a sharp bite to them, giving the lyrics an extra edge of frustration and defiance. It is not just a song you listen to, it's one you feel, with its fast-paced intensity, making it impossible to sit still while it plays. While it may not be as instantly recognizable as Blvd of Broken Dreams, or instantly beloved as American Idiot, it is still one of the album's most underrated tracks, delivering an explosive moment of pure punk rock that holds up just as well today as it did when American Idiot was first released. Even across Green Day's entire discography, spanning over 2 decades, no song feels as deeply personal as Wake Me Up When September Ends. While many fans have connected with its themes of loss, change, and grief in their own ways, at its core, this song is a deeply emotional tribute written by Billie Joe Armstrong about the tragic passing of his father when he was just a young child. The lyrics, particularly "Like my father's come to pass, 7 years has gone so fast," carry a weight that makes this song stand apart from the rest of American Idiot. It's not driven by anger, rebellion, or satire. This is raw emotion laid bare for everyone to hear and to feel. The brilliance of American Idiot lies in its variety. Jesus of Suburbia and Homecoming deliver sprawling, multi-part rock operas, while Blvd and Broken Dreams and Wake Me Up When September Ends slow things down with melancholic, deeply personal reflections. Songs like St. Jimmy and Letterbomb inject pure punk energy while give Me Novacaine, an extraordinary girl, explore simpler, softer, yet equally emotional tones. Even the songs that aren't as widely discussed, like Are We the Waiting and She's a Rebel, have their own unique appeal, making them just as enjoyable as the bigger hits. What makes Wake Me Up When September Ends so powerful is how universally it resonates. Even if listeners don't share Armstrong's personal loss, the song's themes of pain and the passage of time make it easy to connect with. The soft, melancholic acoustic intro builds into a sweeping dramatic finale, mirroring the emotional rise and fall of grief itself. It is a song that lingers long after it ends, and while it may not be the most replayable or rambunctious track on the album, it is undeniably one of Green Day's most meaningful. Homecoming may not get as much attention as Jesus of Suburbia, but it actually surpasses it in length, making it the longest song on American Idiot. Much like Jesus of Suburbia, it is a multi-part rock opera that shifts in style and energy as it progresses along. But what makes Homecoming stand out is its sense of resolution. Whether you focus on its deeper message about disillusionment and returning to a world that just hasn't changed, or simply enjoy it for the way it weaves together different musical styles, it is a track that feels like a journey, one that captures the highs and lows of the entire album in one sweeping finale. As the second to last song on American Idiot, Homecoming feels like the perfect lead-in to the album's closing moments. It balances moments of reflection with bursts of classic Green Day energy, making it one of the most dynamic songs on the record. Even if you overanalyze every lyric, even if it is just an enjoyable listen to simply because of how much it throws at you, this song, much like Jesus of Suburbia, is an equally impressive and fitting penultimate track that helps bring American Idiot full circle. What's Her Name may be interpreted as a song about a long-lost love with only fading, regretful memories remaining, but it is also so much more than that. It serves as a reflective conclusion, not just to the story within American Idiot, but to the emotional journey the album takes the listener on. The lyrics, especially Seems That She's Disappeared Without a Trace, capture the feeling of someone slipping away from memory. Not anger or with sadness, but with quiet acceptance. It isn't a dramatic farewell, but rather a realization that time moves forward and some people are simply meant to become echoes of their past. As an album closer, What's Her Name couldn't be a better choice. While it is not as explosive as some of the other tracks, it leaves a lasting impression with its mix of melancholy and resolution. The way the instrumentation builds and swells before fading out mirrors the fading memories described within the lyrics. It may not be the album's most well-known song, but it is undeniably one of the most important, giving the record the kind of ending that lingers in your mind long after the final notes have played. Looking back at American Idiot as a whole, it is clear why this album remains one of Green Day's most beloved and enduring works. Every single song contributes to the larger narrative, but each track can stand upon its own, showcasing the band's ability to blend storytelling with raw emotions and unforgettable melodies. From the explosive energy of American Idiot to the introspective regret of What's Her Name, the album can take listeners on a journey that never loses its impact, no matter how many times you revisit it. But beyond its incredible track list, American Idiot is an album that has aged remarkably well. Its themes of frustration, rebellion, disillusionment, and longing remain just as relevant today as they were when the album first came out. Whether you connect with its message or simply enjoy it for nothing but the music itself, there's no denying its impact. Few albums can capture an era while also standing the test of time, but American Idiot does just that, cementing itself not just as Green Day's most ambitious record, but as one of the greatest punk rock albums ever made.
Oh, track of my love.